Did you know that there's a huge difference between being psychic in everyday life and then doing psychic readings for other people? This is Krishanti with Krishanti.com, and I'm so happy that you're here and we get to talk about all this fun psychic stuff. It's really an interesting world. And I'd like to dispel some of the myths that we have about all of this. One being that you're either born psychic or you're not. Well, we're all intuitive. We all have intuition. So following certain steps and methods to deepen that intuition and to activate psychic abilities is something we can all do. I did it. I teach people how to do it. There are people learning this all the time, all over the world. And being just born super sensitive, like with your third eye wide open, means that you do pick up on things. You get, ESP, extrasensory perception. You feel things that other people don't feel. You can tune into stuff that other people aren't aware of. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to use that to actually help somebody who's in deep pain and needs solution, needs something, right? Just by virtue of telling someone like, because you're natural psychic, right? Oh, I know that you're going to get this great job and it's going to work out for you. Or don't get on that plane because it's going to crash. Like, that's cool and that's helpful, sure, right? But when you're learning how to do readings, you go at it a whole different way. And first and foremost, you learn how to activate your own natural psychic abilities, which we all have. Some of us are more visual, clairvoyance. Some of us are more auditory, clairaudience. Most of us feel things, clairsentience. And I've had some students who are so lucky they have what we call claircognizance, which is also known as instant knowing, where they'll just know. It's just this knowing. So when you learn how to be psychic in order to work with people, you activate those abilities within you, which the people who are born psychic already have. But you learn then how to apply those specifically when you're working with another person. So you learn how to read their energy field and go in different ways and look at things differently, heal things differently. That's another huge thing that I think we should talk about more. I'll talk about more on this channel, is that when you do psychic work the way that I was trained and how I train people, it's all about healing what you see that's not right, where energy is stuck and it needs to flow, where it's there's energetic debris that needs to get cleansed out. You clear that out with light. So it's a very healing process. Many people say that getting a psychic reading, my method, is more powerful and helpful than years of therapy. And I can understand that, because if we talk about traditional chit-chat therapy, you're not going super deep. You can get somewhere in a matter of years. Yes, I had great assistance from my therapist, Joy, after my mom died when I was a teenager. I needed that therapy and I went to her for a while. But the clairvoyant psychic work, when you're trained, again, to do readings for people, you bypass the cognitive mind and you go straight into the subconscious, straight into the energy field, and you do your work there. And it's just so much more powerful. It's a super strong healing modality. And that's the difference, learning it that way, okay, how can I actually sit down in front of this person and apply this psychicness to help them, versus going through your everyday life, getting a random hit there or an idea there or seeing a spirit over there. How it's not your job with that psychicness is to help other people. You're just being psychic. Now, I'd love to know what you think about this, and have you noticed that? I'm sure you've got cards or you've done some psychic work yourself. Have you noticed a difference between the deep transformative psychic work and just the regular being psychic? Have you been to the ones where they're just giving you yes, no answers, like not a Ouija board, which, by the way, those aren't really positive, but like a magic 8 ball, right? There's that kind of psychicness. And then there's a kind where it's like, okay, you're holding this within you and it's this belief and that, and let's help clear that and make way. And then you actually do help clear it. And then the space flows and everything shifts and changes. I'd love to know what your experiences are with that. And if you've really felt like the true power of a real psychic reading, like a deep kind of reading that gets into your soul and reminds you of why you're here on earth, like the lessons you signed up for, like what you were here to learn, what you're here to work on and to develop. There's so much to it, and there's so much you can go into with all of this, especially like the healing stuff. It not only heals like emotional stuff, but it can actually tangibly heal the physical body when you start getting deep into that work, which again, you need training. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just sit there and be like, I'm gonna pull this out of my hat. You do have to be trained rigorously in order to be very, very effective like that. So it's more of that transpersonal, deep, transformative type of psychic healing work that is so wonderful. If you want to learn about that, come to krishanti.com. Got meditations, full-on courses. The whole thing there is to help you deepen into this, which you can do. I think we all can. So on that note, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.